Okay, I should be live. I tend to have problems doing these things, being I'm a very old man and so on and so forth. But anyway, just going to say, for those of you who haven't heard of it already, about my King Arthur event at Winchester of the weekend of the 21st, 22nd of March this year. The 21st of March was the original date, and that has sold out completely for the subscribers on my EarthQuest mailing list. So what we've done is we've arranged to have another tour on the 22nd that can be available to absolutely anyone that watches my Facebook things and this YouTube and stuff like that. So anyway, just to tell you a little bit about it, it's a one-day event. It starts at, what time is it in the morning? 10:30 at the centre of Winchester. We all meet up. It goes on until 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Obviously, there's a break for lunch and so on. And I will take you around the various places in Winchester associated with the King Arthur story. Now, many of you know that I have placed the Camelot of King Arthur, if you like, the place where he had his major city through most of his reign, at Viraconium in Shropshire. Well, that is not, according to the story that Thomas Mallory wrote, and it is not according to the archaeology, which I'll be talking about there, where his reign actually started. He started somewhere else, and that was Winchester. That was the capital of his father, Uther Pendragon, according to the romances. That's where Thomas Mallory sets the whole story. And it's only later that he builds Camelot, and that's what I believe was at Viraconium. But Winchester is so associated with the Arthurian story. It's not just the Round Table, it's loads of things. There's the St. Mary's Abbey there. The remains of it are still to be seen. We'll be going there to learn how the story of King Arthur survived from records of the Dark Ages and then became, and how it became, a story that was so popular in the Middle Ages about knights in armor and that sort of thing. And we'll be doing that at the site of St. Mary's Abbey. And then we go on to other early aspects of the Grail, of the story. For example, the Holy Grail. Now, many of you know my take on the Grail, but what's very interesting is the number of early romances had the Grail at one point being hidden at what's called a water shrine, an old holy well, sacred Celtic well that then became a Christian holy well, in Winchester, not very far from this abbey, just walking distance, about 100 yards away. And we'll be going there, that they've recreated an old Roman style holy well at that site. We'll be going there, and I'll be telling you about the Grail associations with Arthur at a place that may have had genuine associations with the Grail. Then you all know about the story of the sword being drawn from the stone. Now, some people, early writers like Geoffrey of Monmouth, have that taking place at St. Paul's Cathedral, but others have it, for example, throughout the Vulgate cycle. That's another series of early Arthurian stories. They have it at Winchester, outside Winchester Cathedral. So we'll be going to that site, talking about the sword from the stone, how Arthur started, both the medieval romance, but the history behind it, which then takes us to the Great Hall, the site of Winchester Castle, where what's said to be the original Round Table hangs on the wall, this 18-foot diameter thing painted out in different coloured segments, like an enormous dartboard on the wall. Now, the interesting thing about that is the carbon dating that was done on it in the 1970s only took one little bit of it, and that table was repaired. Planks were taken out of it, and new ones added over the years. So the ones that came from where that sample was taken from were put there in the reign of Edward I in the late 1200s. It doesn't mean that is as old as the thing actually is. And I'll be talking about all the possibilities about how they round table could date back much earlier, but has been repaired. A bit like Trigger's broom, if you ever used to watch the Only Fools and Horses TV show. But we'll be talking about that. We'll be discussing the possibility that that very castle was occupied by an historical figure behind the King Arthur legend 1500 years ago, because in the castle we will be going round, you can see the different layers when it was built over. You've got the medieval layer, and then that you've got Anglo-Saxon foundations below that. You've got the Roman ones and the parts that were there at the time Arthur is said to have existed. Now, there's loads of other things in Winchester associated with the Arthurian story. There's a bridge where Excalibur was said to have been thrown. We'll be talking about the Excalibur legend and how that developed. But within all this, I'll be discussing and revealing to you my historical research over the years to show that Arthur, the legend of the Middle Ages, was based on an historical figure who really did live around the year 500 AD. Anyway, so this is the one-day tour of Winchester on the 22nd, the 21st, full up, gone, that's it, the 22nd. But be quick and order your place. Order your place? Book your place. Yeah, that sounds more like it. Because it will probably sell out pretty quickly. I'm putting underneath this, where you see the title and the description of this video, you will see where you can click to get the link to order through EarthQuest, who organise all my events. And also, I'll also be putting something in the comments underneath, the link where you can click and see all about it. So anyway, hope to see you there. I know it's very early in the morning. I haven't even had a shave yet. I haven't even had breakfast yet, but I thought I'd get this done because I've got a pretty busy weekend coming up, doing filming for a TV show about the Holy Grail, which is good fun. Hopefully you'll be able to see that this May. I think that's when it will be out. More about that on my Facebook. But anyway, thank you all for watching. I shall copy this. I shall link to this on my Facebook as well. Thank you. And now I've got to figure out how to switch this thing off. Do I click on live? End stream. That's sensible enough. Bye. Oh, look. Ha! How do I put that hand up? There you go. My washing hanging up in the background. Ha! What a great guy. Has washing in his own living room. Bye.